Juan Perez, appreciate you being here. You've said that discipline saved you until it didn't. So, when does discipline actually start hurting veterans?
We're taught very early on that we have to be invincible. You join the Marine Corps and you're taught that you have to slay the monster, that it all boils down to you. There have been PFCs that had to lead entire squads in Fallujah. You're taught very early on that you have to be disciplined and that if you don't, you're going to die, you're going to fail, you're going to be not just a thorn in the side of your squad, but you're going to possibly cause deaths of a lot of people. So I think that the veteran takes that with them, and they start to just call everything discipline, setting boundaries that are a little bit too strict on people. Well, I'm just disciplined, so I'm not going to have those people in my life. Telling yourself that you're going to spend 2 hours in the gym instead of going to get mental health help. Well, I have discipline. I don't need help like that because for me, I have discipline. I know how to do what I have to do. Not developing people skills because for you, you'd rather stay in your little cocoon, your little isolated world because it's all you know. Well, you know what? I have discipline, and discipline is this thing that we keep harping back to because it became a really big part of our identity, and it made sense when you leave the military as a veteran. You try your very best to come into this world that doesn't know you. Like you went into the military, and this world kept going. But when you leave the military doesn't just leave you. Like it happens over the weekend sometimes, and you get out, and then you're in this new place where you can actually put your hands in your pockets. You don't you can chew gum and walk. You don't just have to hang out with the people that are the same as you. But what happens is that I find that for that first year for veterans, they want to find a place to fit in. They want to make sense of it. They want to find someone that will make them feel seen, heard, appreciated. And they're trying. They're trying, but it's hard. It's hard because you have that mindset of, well, I can't take this armor off. I can't ask for help. I can't tell anybody I'm having a hard time. I have to figure this out myself. And you seem to forget, because I know I did, that in the military, there was always someone there to guide you, a team leader, a squad leader, platoon sergeant. And at least for me, what happened is that I ended up finding people that were out that were 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of me. And those became my team leaders, my squad leaders, my platoon sergeants. So the Marine Corps does a great job of teaching that small unit leadership that translates when you leave the military. But it doesn't always work out that way. And also, you might not end up having the right type of leaders when you leave the military. We're going to find leaders because we are ingrained in being part of a something larger than us. We want to go out into the world. We want to find something or someone to follow. And a lot of veterans, they fall into the wrong types of environments. They hang on to maybe a real salty veteran that has problems with the VA and just says, you know what? Well, the VA is going to kill you. Don't ever go there. And then that veteran never gets the help that he needs. Or that veteran goes and he gets into the wrong relationship. Maybe he gets married. Maybe he ends up trying to take on too many things at once. And this was me. I tried to learn Arabic because I wanted to go work for the CIA. I was the president of the Veterans Union for my university. I was in a relationship that I had no business being in just because it was the first woman that actually paid attention to me after the military. I was trying to find a way to fill that void in my chest, and I ended up getting a dog. He's still with me, thankfully. But it's just one thing after another, after another, after another. And the way that I look at it is that discipline becomes a problem when you don't realize that you're very disciplined at sabotaging your life as well. It's this uncanny thing that we can't stop and say, wait, am I going into this with too much chaos? Am I too familiar with chaos where chaos doesn't scare me as much as it scares other people? And there's an advantage there. Don't get me wrong. Right now I have was it 12? I don't even know how many days she has. 13-year-old baby girl upstairs. The crying doesn't bother me. It bothers her, my
Yeah.
fiance, but I can withstand that. However, because of the nature of the beast that I am, Marine Corps infantry, Afghanistan, scout sniper. I was a cop for 10 years on the west side of Chicago. My threshold for pain is super high. I don't feel it. Yeah. My resilience factor is unbelievable. I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. That can hurt you.
Yeah.
It can hurt you because you forget to pay attention to, maybe this should bother me. Maybe I shouldn't talk to people like this. So that's how I think discipline, and there's a lot of other aspects to it, but I think that we can be very disciplined at saying, well, this is the way that I am. It's black and white. I'm not willing to change. And if nobody changes for me, what happens? The jaded veterans, nobody gets me. I think I'm gonna go back in. Suicidal ideations, drinking all the time, ended up in the wrong professions for years. And I did all those things, by the way. So yeah.
Dude, God, man. I mean, it's just, before we hit record, I told you like a lot of what we're going to talk about today is just a lot of it, what's been going on recently with what we've been doing. And it's amazing. And this is what's incredible about with having you on what you do with your channel and your platforms. And what you just said here is just listening to it. It's like, we know that.
Yeah.
Right. We all know it,
Mm.
but we don't think it.
Mm.
So being able to hear someone speak it and then just actually listen to what Juan's saying and what you're saying. And it's just like, yeah, man. I mean, and it's little simple things, man. I want to go a little bit more to when you were talking about finding that fire team leader, squad team leader, platoon leader. God, I mean, why doesn't anybody tell us that? Why don't we think that on our own? And question A, and then question 2, what did you do? How did you find those people? What did you realize you needed those people?
I've always been a very curious person. Wherever I went, I was trying to find out how I could stand out for the right reasons, because I wouldn't call myself gifted in anything besides like really understanding human nature. When I was in the Marine Corps, I was the pit bull of the platoon. I was the one that wanted to do more than anybody else. And that also kind of alienated me a little bit. I didn't get to hang out with them all the time. I wasn't just one of the dudes. I've always been very different. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. And I've always been annoyingly intelligent, where the things that I think that we all think, you, Neil, like we all think these things. It's just hard to put them into sentence where they made sense, because it's like, well, if I say this and if someone doesn't reiterate or confirm what I'm thinking, then I'm just crazy. I'm delusional. I say stuff that is crazy and delusional all the time. I'll tell you right now, I talk to God, but it doesn't bother me. I've always been someone that pushes the limits. I've always been someone that I'll jump into the deep end and I'll figure out how to swim while I'm, going into the water. I do it now too. I do it now where I know that I still need those people that are 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 steps ahead of me. So I position people in my life who are friends, and I find who is 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of me, who has children that are in their 10, 12-year-old stages, who has the business that's a little bit more ahead of me, who has the better understanding of spirituality that I don't yet. And I reach out to them. I position myself so that it's a no-brainer for them to want me in their life. I'm not saying, hey man, do you have a minute? Hey man, do you have a minute? No, I'm saying, hey, are you going to the gym? Can I join you?
Yeah.
Or do you need help painting the garage? I noticed. So I want to become an asset to the people that I know that I want them to be an asset to me, but I don't want it to weigh on them. I want it to be a no-brainer. I've always positioned myself in places to learn from people that I admire without them realizing that I'm there to learn from them. Because if they can teach you without teaching you, it doesn't put pressure on them. It doesn't put pressure on me. I get to pick apart what's right, what's wrong, what do I take? Because I still have to chew the meat and spit out the bones.
Right.
Like I can't just take what they say as law. I still have to digest it. I still have to think about what does this mean? How does this apply to me? How can I take this and make it something that I can implement in my life? Now, as far as what I did, I made every mistake. I got out and I went to work for I don't even know if I can say their name. I signed this contract. I went to work for a private security firm in the West Coast where I was doing security for celebrities, and even that felt boring. It wasn't as exciting as I wanted it to be. So I moved back to Chicago, and I moved in with my girlfriend at the time. Um, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was trying to work out. I was trying to run. I was growing my beard out. I'm like, well, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. I've seen the 511 t-shirts, I've seen posts on social media. I'm pretty sure I got to wear the sniper hat. And I did all that. I was the douchebag. And Joe, my buddy Joe, and Danny. So Joe was my squad leader, 5 years out. Danny was 2 years out. He was like my team leader. They found me at a VFW that I went to because I did reach out to, like, where can I find veterans? And there was a Marine Corps lead meeting at a VFW. I went there, and I was wearing this hat, and it was a stupid little sniper tab on the back because I was arrogant. And I wanted everybody to know. I'm like, well, you know what? If I'm not worth anything as Juan, maybe if people know that I graduated sniper school, then maybe I'll have some worth to my name. Right. Like maybe somebody will want to be friends with this, weird kid. And, they saw it, they busted my balls about it.
Yeah.
And we became friends, and we've been friends ever since. That's how I found people that I thought would be good for me. But you have to discern. You got to pay attention. Like, you don't go to the bar and find the guy that is an asshole to everybody. And just because he's wearing a Marine hat, this is a guy that I want to be like. You go there and you pay attention. You're like, all right, this guy, he's shaking people's hands. He's paying attention. He's actually well groomed. Yeah, he's got a beard, but like you can tell he stands straight. That's who you want to be around. And you just position yourself. You can't force anything. You don't go there and say, hey, I want to be your friend. Right. Go there, strike up a conversation, tell him about yourself, but be more curious than anything else. If you want to find someone out there, maybe you've been out for a little bit, maybe you've been out for a long time. It doesn't even matter. As a man, you need to position yourself around people that can teach you things, but find a way to be an asset for them. Find a way to be an asset for them. I have I'm drawing a blank because I'm on very little sleep, so I'm sorry. I have a nursery upstairs that it's done, but I have a young man that I'm mentoring. He's 21, but he's the smartest 21-year-old that I've ever met. I swear, this kid, I hate to call him kid, but I know what I felt like when I was 21. This 21-year-old, I'm talking about, he's acts like he's 30, but I'm positioning and I'm dropping seeds in his brain of how do you make good relationships with men. As a 21-year-old, his mindset is like, well, yeah, we can do lunch and I'll rush through it because I got to get back to work. And you want to split it? No. And today we had lunch and I taught him, I'm like, listen, I'll get you this time. You give me next time. And by the way, I have a room I still have to paint some stuff in. So if you're free, reach out to me and we can make it happen. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. I want to help you. Just let me know. And that's the type of mentality you should have everywhere you go in life. And I know I kind of went off the rails here, but I didn't do any of these things when I first got out. I found the right mentors, yes, but because I was bored, I went into law enforcement for 10 years, and I did a great job at it, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I wouldn't change a minute of it, but it also led to a lot of chaos. I honestly, for a while, I had much more PTSD from leaving the police job than leaving the military. I left the police job because I never dealt with my PTSD from the military. And there were times when I didn't want to wake up anymore being a cop. And there's a lot more to it. At the end of my 10 years as a cop, they had disbanded my unit. I used to work undercover. They put us on the trains. Very meaningless work, in my opinion, arresting people for not paying their train fare. And I was going through a divorce at the same time. I was having a daughter at the same time, and I was starting a business at the same time. So I'm just the type of person that I know that when change happens, you can't tell the world, well, no, only one thing at a time. It's gonna happen, and sometimes it's going to twist you and bend you and cost you a lot. But if it's going to cost you a lot, it's going to pay off in the long run. And you got to just trust that God has a plan, and that there's a reason why things are happening the way that they're happening. It might not make sense to you right now, but there is always a reason why everything is happening the way that it's happening.
I love a lot of what you were saying there because we get that question a lot. It's like, I just got out. How do I find people? And God, I mean, everything happens for a reason at a certain time. And here you and I are sitting down as I'm getting more of these questions, and I don't have a good answer. You know, I tell them we have a great community in our Discord. Reach out, come join us over there. And it is a great community. But as far as, I mean, right there, just that segment of talking about how to look for people, the people that are where you want to be. And we hear that too, right? If you
Yeah.
hang around 9 millionaires, you'll be the 10th. And don't be the smartest person in the room, right? Always go to the place where you can learn things of that nature. So I'm absolutely, I mean, just the way you say it too is just incredible and great information for
Thank
people
you.
who are getting out and looking for people to do things with. And a lot of what you're talking about also is saying mutually beneficial, don't be a burden, right? No, I mean, nobody wants to have that burden. They'll help you for a while, but then it's like,
Yeah.
when it's only one way. It's
Mhm.
not a relationship at that point. A
Mhm.
relationship always has to be mutual. We're taking care of one another here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean that's incredible stuff too, man. I'm so glad that we're doing this. So, with that, right, kind of going back to whenever you were talking about like the discipline, bringing discipline with us. So, what do you think the hardest part of that military identity is to let go, and what should we keep?
Whew. I'll share this. In the last 30 days, I found God again. And I look at everything differently now. I used to think that we had to keep the ruggedness of being able to have boundaries and cut people off and adapt and improvise and overcome. And I've realized that's actually part of the lie, in my opinion. I think that being in the military, you put on this armor and then you forget to take it off or you get out. And when you don't take that armor off, and I mean, think about me. I not only did not take my armor off, I went into a profession that was, if not the same, probably much more chaotic. And I kept that armor on physically, and I also kept that weapon on me 24/7. So I ended up feeling like I was at war, even at home. I think
Yeah.
that the problem that happens is that we forget to take that armor off, and when we don't take that armor off, it almost feels like everywhere we go, there is supposed to be some sort of firefight. Everywhere we go, there's supposed to be some sort of adversary. And here's the tricky part, right? They're not wrong, but
Yeah.
in order for you to do battle with the new enemy, and the new enemy, in my opinion, is the division of country, the division of family, the division of morals and values and principles that we used to hold at a very high esteem. That, I think, is the new war that we have to fight. But it's a war that is fought with the mind, not with weapons, not with swords. We can't go and just hit our brothers and sisters. We have to bring ourselves together. So we have to learn to take that armor off. I think that the things that we keep with us is our resilience. I think we have to let go of some stuff, such as, I don't know what the word is for this, and I've been mulling this over in my head over a lot, over and over again. But I think we get very offended very easily. So maybe you can help me with this. But I just think that as veterans, we have this like pride. I don't know if it's ego. I don't know if it's like you don't want to be the last one on the PFT, or you want to make sure that like you're not the one that gets the entire squad thrashed. But we get offended very easily. We take everything so personal. When I started doing my coaching business for the veterans, I'm telling you, I had to learn how to speak to them, and I had to find the right way to approach them because they get offended so easily. And
Yeah.
I think that hurts us a lot because think about this. If you have a friend that didn't go to the military, but he was your best friend growing up, and you come home, and let's just say that you, Mike, maybe there's some shit that is wrong with you. Maybe there's some shit that you hey man, check out this shit that I did in Afghanistan. Or I know me, I was showing pictures that I probably shouldn't be sharing, right? But if they tell you, dude, this is fucked up. And you're
Yeah.
like, well, what do you mean, man? Like, this is what I went through. I was at war, and you get so offended, and you're like, why would that person ever want to help you, approach you, or even hang out with you ever again?
Yeah.
And then before you know it, it's 4 or 5 years. You're like, well, what? Why does I haven't talked to so and so in a while? And what do we do? Well, fuck him. You know what? He's a piece of shit anyway. Or oh, well, he doesn't get me. I'm a veteran, and he's just soft. He's weak minded. These civilians, and then we build this rhetoric, this very very dangerous rhetoric. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I'll stop there. I don't want to keep going.
No, I mean, dude, God, I mean, you're hitting so many perfect things right now. Like,
Thank you.
We're having a conversation with one of the mods about sometimes these people, they get so upset and offended, and it's like, how were they in the military? Like, how
It's
are
part of the
you?
military. It's part of it. It's like think about it. You go into the military, right? Most people that join the military, they come from some sort of broken background, especially if you go into the Marine Corps and especially if you go into infantry. Something is not 100% right with you.
Right.
So what happens in the Marine Corps infantry? They turn you into this invincible freaking monster. I legitimately believe that I could take anybody on. I don't care what happens because I had to. Why? Because I'm going to go to war. I'm going to go to Afghanistan. I'm going to be laying in the prone on top of a roof in helmet, getting shot at, taking rounds to the left, to the right of me, and thinking this next round is going to hit me straight in the face. And I can't get off the roof.
Yeah.
I have to think I'm invincible.
Right.
The Marine Corps has to teach me that. So we bring that with us. And the moment that anybody tries to say anything different than what we know, we feel like we have to die on our sword. We have to start a fight. We have to win a war. Look, you could find 10 different reasons for why this is. The one that always comes up for me is the fact that nobody wants to be called out on their shit because they got called out on their shit a lot in the military and they got tired of it. And now because we don't learn people skills and because I'm direct and I'm to the point, instead of saying, hey, Mike, listen, I was thinking that maybe instead of going to the bar today, what if we go check out that comedy club? Instead of, hey, dude, you're a fucking alcoholic. And you know what, man, you're just fucking your life up, dude. And I'm telling you this because I love you. Like, we don't even learn people skills. Yeah. We need to like not reprogram, but deprogram, because there's a lot of people skills that we forget while we're in the military. It's 4 years that we spend in a foreign country. Think about it. Like, it's 4 years, sometimes more, that you spend in a foreign country. Then you come back home. You can't knife hand people. You can't 1800. What the fuck does that mean? What? Yeah. And you think that they're the weird ones. What do? We want to find another veteran. Dude, hey man, these fucking people, they don't get it, man. Yeah, I know, because they're going through the same shit. It's that misery loves company thing.
Yeah.
You're the weird ones. We're what, less than 1%.
Yeah, I know.
We're not the weird ones.
All right.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. It's so spot on too. Now, so you coach, you work with people. How does somebody? How would you coach somebody to be more receptive and open? Is this something I'm dealing with currently? Like just in little things too. Like, hey, in this channel, we don't post links. That's why it got deleted. And then, I mean, dude, you would think that I took his entire retirement fund or something. Like, I mean, oh, I'm just a horrible person. I should stay in my house, lock myself away. I'm a walking monster. And I'm like, brother, I don't think that. I never said that. Like, we're just trying to welcome you in and give you a little guidance on how we do things. Like, if you had to give advice to that individual on how to like be receptive and open to some feedback, what advice would you give?
Congratulate publicly, counsel privately. If you want to change a culture in a chat, in a community, in a tribe, in a platoon, congratulate good behavior. When someone does something that you want to see more of in that community, spot on. Hey man, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Liking it. And then you sharing more of that, congratulating that. People want to be appreciated. People want to be seen. And then the 100 other people, however many other people, they see that, they acknowledge the fact that, oh, this person did this and it got them a reward. And then counsel privately. I wouldn't even remove the link. I would just leave it. I would just not address it. I know it's hard because we want to be like, well, I need to control this. I need to. But the moment that you do that, you make him feel like you just punished him in front of everybody else. And it's a hard one. And trust me, I'm not here to talk about, your specific policies, but
No,
I find that
this is applicable everywhere. So this is great. Yeah. I mean, this it's not just our Discord you're helping me with. This is applicable everywhere. So please.
I find that when you can explain it to somebody like this, and in a communication where you need rapport, you need to be able to have vulnerability back and forth. I take a while with my clients. I have them for a year with me, and it's not like day one I'm coming at them, but it's like 1 month in, we've built rapport. They understand that they're working on this thing. I keep pointing out their blind spots to them. I start by pointing out some blind spots to them in more of a awareness piece. This is the long process, but if we were to condense it, I would have a conversation like this, man. Hey, listen, I really appreciate the fact that you're trying to share some value, but listen, man, sometimes when you share stuff, there's no context to it, and the link might take them somewhere else. And we just want to stay on point with this because there's a lot of people in that chat that they're going through hard times. And I would really, really appreciate it if you ever want to share something, at the very least, maybe give us some context. Maybe tell us why you're sharing this. And what this does is that now they don't feel like you told them, don't do that. But you told them, if you're going to do it, this is the right way to do it. And then they're going to think about it. So when they get on the social media and they see a YouTube video that they want to share with you, I would be impressed if they actually typed out a message that said, I was watching this video and this reminded me of when I came home and this was very helpful for me. And I'm just wondering if any of you would resonate with this. And then the YouTube link gets posted. And then if that's the behavior you want to see, reinforce it and congratulate it. Or if you have different policies, right? If you want to change the way that you run something, you got to think 2 steps ahead of everybody else. If I want participation in a room, I'm not going to just sit there and talk. I have to be willing to allow that awkward silence to sit, because it's much more awkward for them than it is for me. I will sit there and I'll stare at you for an hour if you want to, but they will eventually open up and share something. So that's another way to get the conversation going. Vulnerability is also something that I employ a lot. I will tell you about all of the mistakes. I'll tell you about the $20,000 that I lost on the stock market. I'll tell you about my 2 divorces and how much I was a fuck up. I'll tell you about when I cheated. I'll tell you about when I crashed my car, when I was drinking and driving, because it makes me feel not like a fuck up, but relatable. Why? Because, well, look where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And if it's possible for me, it's possible for you.
Yes.
And they want to know more. They want to feel safe sharing that they smoke weed in. I don't know if it's PG-13 or rated R, but
no, you can say it. Yeah.
They want to feel safe. I need them to feel so safe with me that I need to know the truth. And that's one of the rules I put from the get-go. If you take me on as your coach, you need to be first honest with me about everything. If you're telling me that you're going to the gym and you're eating the right foods, but you forget to, or you neglect to, or you're too embarrassed to tell me that you're jerking off at 2 a.m. every freaking night, I won't be able to help you with the real problem that you have, because you have so much shame around that. Yeah. So you got to tell me the truth no matter what, because we can fix this real quickly. I have courses of action. I have systems. I have techniques. I have tools for just about any small, narrow problem like that. But if you don't tell me, I can't help you. And that's why vulnerability is something that I always employ right away, because I'll tell them, like, listen, I used to do this, I used to do that. And obviously, privately, one-on-one, not recorded. It needs to be something where they feel safe. Does that answer your question? Sorry if I went all over the place.
So in a weird way, no, it didn't answer my question whatsoever, but it's perfect because that needed to all be said. My question was actually, but it's great. It's perfect because now we get both parts of it. So when you run across that guy that just is super easily offended, F the VA, this, that, and the other thing, how do you counsel that person, the guy that is the fuck up? How do you count the one that's easily offended? You're going to go to him and just kind of, or her, and say, hey.
I meet them where they're at. I find out as much as I can about them. If they have kids, I'll use children's metaphor. Like, could you imagine if your son was still acting the way that you're acting at your age? If they don't have kids and they're trying to get married, I would bring up the fact that, why do you think she's not ready yet? Because she doesn't trust you as a man. Look at how you're acting. You're acting like a teenager. I don't hold back, but again, rapport has to be built before you go there. So it is a process. I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff, but I'll say stuff that they have said to themselves in their head. I want to be that voice in their head. I want to be that voice in their head of like, you're not happy with who you are. You know that you feel a lot of shame when you do this. You know that every single time that you type something and somebody doesn't like what you said, you get disrespectful back towards them, because if you can hurt them and you can validate them, they don't matter to you. And just like that, you ruined another relationship. How many relationships have you ruined before? This isn't the first time. This is not the second time. This is not the third time. And if you want your life to continue to go this way, then keep doing what you're doing. But at the end of the day, you have to have self-control. Controlling yourself is all that you need to improve your life. If you control your urges, your vices, your schedule, your tendencies, your habits, your mindset, you will control your life. You have no one to blame with how well or how bad your life is besides you. You can't blame the fact that you got sent to this duty station because somebody else was the nephew of the commandant. Like, this is your doing now at this point. So live life this way for another 4 or 5 years like I did, and you can be 30-something years old, barely getting your life back on track, or you can do it when you're 20-something, man. It's up to you. I try and catch my clients in that 1 year, that wonder year, I call it. Like, I wonder what I should do. I wonder if I should have stayed in. I wonder if I should have got out. Because that's typically the year where they can go down that path of creating their second war at home. I created a really big war at home, and I thought that I was justified. I thought that, well, this is just the way that life is. And it ruined a lot of stuff for me. And I'm getting all back now. But I'm at a point right now where my brother isn't talking to me. My sister's not talking to me. My mom, my dad both think that I'm crazy. I lost my best friend in the last year, and I'm slowly getting it all back because God has given it back to me piece by piece by piece. But it was all my doing. I ruined my life. I wouldn't change a thing about it because I know things now that once you know, right? So like, this is the caveat. You cannot avoid a hard life if God wants you to have a hard life. I don't know if do you mind if I talk a little bit about my spirituality?
I mean, go ahead. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Okay. So I think that God gave me the life that he gave me because I have to be able to have experience with divorce. I have to have experience with cheating. I have to have experience with alcoholism. I have to have experience with suicidal ideations. I have to have experience with law enforcement and PTSD from seeing dead children. I had to have experience with war, with seeing evil face to face. I had to have experience with all these things because I know that I am meant to help people come back to Jesus Christ after their trauma. Like, I didn't believe in God for years. I denied him. I thought that it was the universe. It was all me. And God loved me so much because I'm just like you and Neil, like we're his children. He gave me stuff. He gave me the studio. He gave me knowledge. He gave me, clients. He gave me growth. He gave me all this. But because I kept saying, well, it's me, it's not God, it's the universe, and you got to just do it this way, and it's all about your schedule, and you got to do the ice barrel. I kept getting it taken back. And not because God's a vengeful God, but because he's a smart father. And if you give a toy to your kid and he keeps destroying it or throwing it away, you're not just keep giving the same toy. He's not going to learn the lesson. You got to respect your stuff, young man.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
I love that. I love that comparison, man. Yeah, that's a great comparison.
And I didn't do that. I didn't say thank you. I didn't say thank you to my father. Yeah. I kept saying, this is all me. This is all my doing. This is all my doing. And when those forces are at play, and your arrogance gets so big, because for me, that's what I'm most susceptible at. If you know what your biggest two issues are, you know what your biggest two strengths are. So in my mind, and I'm sorry, I hope I don't go, if I go too deep into this, just cut me in. All right. In my mind, I think that the forces that are at play, the things that keep you stuck, the enemy, the adversary, the devil, I think he knows how to get at you. Because if he can hurt you in an area that you can be very powerful for God, he keeps you stuck where you're at. My voice is powerful. My courage is powerful. My bravery is powerful for God. And I also know that it's my weakest point because I am susceptible to arrogance. I'm susceptible to my ego becoming so big that it blinds me. And that's what happened to me. So December of last year, I started to lose everything. I made more money than I had ever made in my entire life in 1 month. But at the same time, I lost my family. My brother wasn't talking to me. And I had to fire my entire team in the following month. And it went back to just me. And I legitimately believed that I was bipolar. I was smoking some weed, trying to get my head right because it had worked before, because God will lift the veil if you're in the right place for anything. It's the same thing for everything. It did. And I do stand on this because I believe that if you're in a good place and you do that, you'll be fine. But if you're in a bad place, if you're ego tripping, that's when the thoughts of fear come in. That's when the devil can sneak in. And that's what happened. So I was in a bad place because I had lost all the money that I had, because I was afraid of how I was going to pay for the mortgage, because I was losing clients left and right. I fired my team. I was about to have a baby. She was 8 months or 7 months pregnant at the time. And I was so fucking scared that I smoked more weed, and I started thinking about, I need to make more money. I got to find a way. And I kept giving all the glory to myself. I'm like, I can do this. I've been through worse. I'm a scout sniper. You know what? I'm gonna tough this out and fuck everything. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show everybody. And the devil heard that, and he started whispering shit in my ear. You're bipolar. You should get tested. It's all your fault. Oh yeah, your wife left you because you were the problem. You don't have any friends because they know that you're manic. And I believed it. I believed it so much that I made an appointment with the VA to talk about getting on bipolar meds. And God loves me so much that if he sees me and he knows that I'm about to freaking burn my hand on a stove, he's going to yell at me. And he did that. And he yelled at me, and he took me out of it. And I was on a walk one day, and I had been talking to God, but it wasn't like God. It was just like, why is this happening? What? Because I have that practice of going out into the woods and just talking. I've been doing that for a long time now. And just like that, all at once, like everything got downloaded into my brain in a matter of I don't even know how to explain it, like a millisecond. And my life just replayed, and I'm like, oh, I did push people away. Oh, I was chasing money. My business coach became my idol. Oh, I started to dress like him. Oh, I have to fire people because of the way that I was leading them. And I felt God telling me, promise me that you'll be better. Promise me. And I made him a promise. I'm like, you know what? I'll do better. I'll do better. And starting today, I won't yell at my kids anymore. An impossible promise. A lie. I go and pick up my kids. I get home from picking them up. We're having dinner. And within minutes, I yell at my daughter, and we're sitting at the dining room table, and I have this salt shaker. It's somewhere around here, and it blows up in my face. It's a glass salt shaker, and it just explodes. Let me show you guys. Do you mind if I show you?
No, not at all.
All right, so this was on the table, and I don't know where it just explodes, and it's glass, so it just explodes in front of me. And I can't talk. My kids didn't react, as if it didn't happen, as if they didn't see it. And I looked up, and I could only say 2 words, and that was, I'm sorry. And I was quiet the rest of the night. I didn't really talk. I didn't know what to say. And I went to sleep, and I had dreams all night of me, like, not being chased, but me running away. And I have been having dreams of being chased for a long time. But when you flip the perspective of it, when you look at it not from behind you, but in front of you, as if the camera just rotates, I could see that I was walking away from God. I wasn't being chased by nobody. I was intentionally walking away from him. And the next day, I dropped off the kids at daycare. I got in my car, and I called a mentor that I knew had reached out to me, because he saw my videos, and he could see it coming a mile away. You guys both know when you see that veteran that's just fucking up, and he's 2, 3, 4, 5 years in, and he's hanging around somebody that you know that he shouldn't be hanging around with, and like you just see the train wreck coming. But like, you know,
Yeah.
try and say something. You know, hey man, why don't we head out? He's no man, I got it. Don't be a fucking pussy. You know.
Yeah.
All right. So I blocked him last year, because he kept telling me, like, listen, you're doing great work, but you're forgetting to talk about God. And I'm like, no, listen, no. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, look, the universe is God, and the way that it works, Andy, and like this, it's just this new age stuff. And he's like, you're wrong. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And this is a guy that was my teacher that actually got me interested in the Marine Corps. He actually came out to see me graduate at Marine Corps, boot camp. And when I came home, he helped me get a job as a cop. So this is someone that I really loved. And I was willing to just remove them from my life, because when he reached out to me, the adversary, he doesn't like that. And he would rather whisper in my ear, see, this guy's crazy. He's losing it. He's losing. He's trying to force you on stuff. Oh, he's a newborn Christian. Oh, he's one of those guys. And I didn't want to hear it. So I blocked him back then in August. But I got in my car and I just called him, and I was bawling my eyes out, and I told him, I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but I think God's talking to me, and I don't know what to do next, and I need help. And he put me through a process that I put people through now, and it was life-changing. I experienced a lot of stuff in those 7 days, and some of it was facing the devil, him physically hitting me. Delusions of grandeur, where I thought that I was the Messiah, where I'm like, well, is this true? Is it possible? But there's 4 voices, in my opinion, that you typically hear from your head. And if you can tell which one is which one is God, which one is your human flesh, which one is the Holy Spirit, and which one is the devil, you can kind of tell what you should listen to and what you shouldn't listen to. So he gave me those tools. He's like, if it's this, then don't listen to that voice, right? If it feels accusatory, if it sounds like a lie, if it rubs you the wrong way, if it makes you feel sick to your stomach, it's not the truth. Fight it with reason. And that first night of my fast, I completely was in that feeling of like, maybe I am. Maybe I'm seeing visions, because I had been seeing visions for a while. I've been seeing visions for the last, I think, 4 or 5 years. And I kept telling myself, I'm like, well, maybe it is me. Maybe. And I even went online and I started researching, like, what does Revelation say about, and then little by little, I kept telling myself, like, this is insane. This is not real. This is not real. This is not real. This is not real. And I fought it, and just like that, it went away. And when the devil found that he couldn't get to me through that anymore, he found a different way to try and attack me. And during the 2-day fast, it was just nonstop, one thing after another, after another. When I came out of it, I had a moment of true clarity, of feeling like I went through the desert, because I came out of Egypt. I went through the desert and I made it to the promised land. And since then, in the last month, and this all happened during Holy Week. And in the last month, I've realized that my life has been completely designed this way. Peace After War is a name that I came up with for my program in the middle of a night. I was dreaming, and it just came to me. Peace After War Living came to me last week. Pawl, Paul. Paul is the apostle that strayed away, not just from God, but from religion, because he started to persecute Christians. And I was doing the same thing in a way. And I know that I have something really big ahead of me. And now what I do, I actually look back at my life and I can reflect on it in a different way. When I go back in my memories now, I don't feel any anxiety. I don't feel any like, oh, I wish this wouldn't happen to me. Now I go back and I have Jesus Christ to my left, the Holy Spirit inside me, and God watching me. And they say, see, right there, that pause. That's where you were about to die. And we actually interjected, because that dude had a gun in his pocket. He's about to shoot you. And that was the reason why when you tried to talk, you couldn't even speak English. You came off as if you were straight out of Mexico. Remember that? And I'm like, I do remember that.
Yeah.
And I now do that for every part of my life. Whenever something comes up for me and I feel shame, whenever I feel guilt, I give myself permission to go back in a healthy way. And I can look back and I can remember in this house, I can remember the fights that I had upstairs with my ex-wife. And I can go back with God and be like, explain this to me. He'll tell me, see, right here, she was in a bad place. She was going through a lot in her life. She felt like she couldn't come to you. And you felt the same way. And because you had something really big in your life, and because she was becoming a mother, and because she was going through all these things, and she couldn't rely on her man because of what society has turned marriages into right now, of course she's going to lash out at you. and I let go of any anger I have. The past doesn't feel painful for me anymore. I look at the past as a beautiful journey where I got to learn more about me. I didn't just pick up skills just to pick up skills. I know what the power of discernment can do. I can not interrogate people, but I know what evil looks like. I can see when someone is carrying some demons inside of them. I can tell when someone needs a hug. I can understand body language more than most. I sometimes feel like I can read people's thoughts, not because I'm in your head, but because if I can look at your situation and your age and whether you're married or not, and maybe some of the stuff that you've been through, and maybe some of the stuff that you're going through, I can put myself back there because maybe I was there. And I can show you maybe what the next step is. Maybe not the next 10. You might not even know what the next 20 will look like because that feels impossible. You can't think about that step because that's bullshit. That's a lie. I'll never get there. How could I? Yeah, you're right. Because you're not realizing that you got to take this one step.
Yes.
It's just people don't know which way to go. Clarity. And I just want to add one thing. I think the confusion that we have, the clarity that we lack, is coming from the fact that we are fragmented as a community. We are fragmented as a civilization. We have so much hate and so much animosity towards people on the other side of the planet, towards our neighbors, right here in our own home country. Whether you're this or that, you must hate each other. And it doesn't help us that all that we have to do to validate these lies is go into the echo chamber of our own social media.
Yeah.
Because the same way that it is a tool for power, just like us right here, we're on this computer, we're on this system right here, we're using it for good, for God. It can be used for evil too. And it can divide you. It can take you away from your son. It can take you away from your mother, from your father. It can take you away from your best friend for years just because they sent you something and you misunderstood it. And instead of communicating, you judge, you condemn. You hear the voice inside your head that says, he's judging you. He thinks you're an alcoholic. He thinks he has his life better than you. The devil will use whatever he can. He is a manipulator. He's been here since the beginning of time. He knows you. He knows your father. He knows your grandfather. He has been there for the good moments and the bad moments. He will tell you, you've done so great. Your podcast is doing amazing. You better get going. You got to work harder. You got to do more. You got to do more. Before you know it, you just missed your daughter's recital. He will use anything that he can to divide you from your family, because love, community, that is God. It's not about what religion is better or this or that. It is about, are we living in a godlike way? Are we taking care of our brothers and sisters? Are we truly living a good life, or are we just rushing to die?
Yeah.
Just my thoughts.
No, it's and again, I laugh because last night I literally had a conversation. I don't rant much. Very very seldom. We were in a group voice chat, and I kind of just went off, man, about how divided we are in the echo chambers, and like the hate between one another.
Yeah.
And if you don't give somebody the answer that they're looking for, then you're evil, you're this, you're that. And yeah, it's just really, really kind of just nasty and disgusting how the world feels right now.
Yeah.
And one of the things that got me into that conversation topic was, again, this freaking Discord, man. Like, we know for a fact that there's people from different religions, different backgrounds, different political beliefs, all in our little Discord. But we treat it like the barracks. Remember the barracks?
Yeah.
We listened to music, we drank, we told some funny stories, we had a good time. We didn't talk politics, we didn't talk religion. And it's amazing when you remove those two things and you bring together as a community how incredible of an environment it is. Like you said, in the social media, when you look at something and it outrages you, well, you're going to watch it more, and it's reaching that core emotion of yours. And so then social media is like, ooh, They want more of this, give them more of this, give them more of this, give them more of this. And it's like you get trapped, and there's a reason they call it doom scrolling. You're literally just doom scrolling almost to your own device. And like you said, it pulls you away from your kids. It pulls you away from your family. And how much time do you sit there, looking at all of these things that fill you with hate and anger for other people who you don't even know. You don't even know those people, but you don't like them. All the while, where's your kid? Where's your spouse? Why aren't you with them? You're right, man. You're right. Like, we use this for good, to build community, to spread great messages. And we're going to have obviously the links to your YouTube and your different pages and everything, so people can come get more of you. And yeah, and just, I always encourage people, turn off the news. The news is, I don't know how people don't understand that the news is just entertainment. They all belong to publicly traded companies that have to beat earnings quarter after quarter. How do you do that? You get more viewership to raise revenue through ad revenue. Like, yeah, we got to come back. You're right. Community. We have to come back together as community again.
I think it's hard, Mike. I think it's hard because you have to lift the veil for people to see. And when you lift the veil, you see good and bad, and people rather would not. It's easier to stay distracted. It's easier to stay lost in the sauce. It's easier to get high, get drunk, get angry, start fights, watch porn, focus on the news, watch the football. It's easier because the other way is pain. But I'll tell you this: when you were saying what you were saying, a thought came to my mind, and it's, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. I haven't thought that in years, because I don't know if I always believe that, but it came to me right now, and I thought about it, and I'm like, how do we develop thicker skin? Sometimes we gotta take some lumps and bruises. I look back at my life, and I honestly am grateful for the fact that I went through everything that I went through, because I wouldn't be here sitting with you if it wasn't for the fact that I've gone through things that have made me extra resilient. And I think that I get the notion of, if you don't want to fight, don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion, but it also means that we're not talking about God. And that one's a hard pill for me to swallow, because for 5, 6, 7 years, I didn't talk about God.
Yeah.
I could have given you the perfect routine. I could have showed you my calendar. I could have told you, like, well, if you have your workout here and you got time for yourself, time for your family, and if you have a cold shower and you do a walk, maybe you do a run, and you eat, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3 meals spaced out right there, like, you can have an optimal life. And I could have got you to a really good place. I got a lot of people there. But what happens is that when you, and again, I'm so sorry, I can't help myself. But if you do all these things and you don't give credit to the person that actually helps you get there, you're gonna cycle back. You're gonna lose it all, right? So I think that, in my opinion, God has to be part of the conversation, and it's easier said than done. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we know about the Crusades. I mean, look at what we've been into for the past 20 years. Don't tell me that that's not about religion. I know it's about money. I know it's about this stuff, but it's also about religion. So the way that I look at it is that if we can inject a lie with the truth, then we'll just believe it all to be true. I don't think we should talk about politics, but I do think that we should talk about God, maybe not religion. And that's why I think right now there's non-denominational churches all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, that is a great point, right? There is definitely a difference between, God and religion.
Yeah.
Right. And man, we could do just a whole nother segment on that, where, people don't understand, like, the monotheology, right? Like, that all of our gods are the same.
Yeah.
It's just the path to salvation that is different. And I mean, it's almost astounding how many people don't understand that
yeah,
the Christian God, the Muslim God, the Jewish God, like, they're all the same God, guys, believe it or not.
Yep.
It's just like one of those family tree things. How do we get there? How do we get to heaven? And so Yeah, and people, they are, you said it's easy, it's distracting. I mean, more people know more about the Kardashians than they do about, anything in the Bible or history.
Division and distraction.
Yeah,
Division and distraction. If you
yeah,
think about it, you divide and conquer. You'll conquer people if you divide them,
yeah.
right?
We know that.
You split them over here. Yeah, and we know this better than anybody else.
Yeah,
You split an enemy force. You've just dwindled them down to just all right. Now you just gotta, attack here and
yeah,
attack there, divide them. So I think that look, call it what you want. If you have, and I'm not talking specifically to you right now, but if anybody listening, if you have a problem with the idea of the devil or evil or enemy, answer yourself this: do you hear voices in your head? The answer is yes. Do they sound negative? Do they cause you anxiety? Yes. Where do you think they come from? It's not your father. Your father loves you. He doesn't talk to you like that. He might scold you once in a while,
yeah,
but look, there's evil out there that is in your ear, and it will twist you and manipulate you. Thankfully, we are not stupid. That's why there are non-denominational churches. That's why churches have changed their stance on divorce, because they understand that they also have to adapt and grow with the times. That's why right now more people are willing to talk about positive versus negative than anything else, because our times are different and we're just trying our very best. I'm not saying that the whole mindset of positive thinking always is God, but that's what got me out of a really, really dark and call it what you will time when I didn't want to wake up anymore. But what took me 5 years, I think I can help people get out of there in 7 days now, compared to the tools that I have now. It's like I have this one amazing tool compared to like the 50, 70 that I used to throw at you to try and get you in a good place. So I
yeah.
can't go back to that once I know this.
I got to share with you,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to do it right now. Maybe it'll be on a phone call, another conversation, or maybe we come back and do a part two, which I think would be great because we didn't really talk about your service at all.
Yeah.
But during one of those times, I'll have to share with you, and I don't think I've ever shared it on a podcast before, because again, I don't really talk about myself. But when you talked about that moment when just everything was downloaded in milliseconds into your brain, I had that exact same experience. And from that point in my life, back in 2010, it's like September 2010. I remember where I was. I remember everything. Complete 180 in life. I wouldn't be where I was right now if I wouldn't have had a conversation and just said, okay, tell me what to do. And it was at that instant.
Surrender.
It was in my brain. It was in my brain. I went home. I followed those instructions. This is just kind of me teasing right now, I guess. That we'll share it another time.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, 100%, man. 100%.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you hooking. I mean, God, man, it was just meant to be. It was just like meant to be. Like so much of what we talked about right here in this segment is things that are actively going on and things that we're working on in this community that we're building. Like before we jump out of here, though, like I said, we're going to drop the links, but let everybody know, like YouTube, let them know like more about yourself before we jump out. And we're definitely going to come back and do a part two for sure.
Thank you. I would love to. And I would love to connect with you as well, because I'd love to share more of my testimony with you. And I would love to hear yours as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. It'd be my honor. You can find me on socials under Peace After War Living. I'm not as active. I used to have a 5-man team where people would do all my stuff for me. And, it got taken away because I was being a bad boy. But I hope that one day I get that team back when the time is right and I can build this out the right way. But for now, I'm crawl, walk, run. I'm just listening to God and I'm doing what He's asking me to do. I would recommend starting with my podcast more than YouTube. And the podcast is called Peace After War. Peace After War. It's very simple. You can also find me on Instagram and socials, Juan Perez, or, Peace After War Living. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Neil, I appreciate you. Thank you for making this happen, Neil.
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, that's great. I didn't even really say anything. I'm just leaning in, man. Yeah. No, it was great. It was awesome.
Neil's he's the slider, man. He slides into the DMs and he's like the producer here. He hooks up some of the awesome people, obviously awesome guests. And I was just super pumped about tonight. I'm glad that we made it happen. And we're like I said, I mean, yeah. Well, do you have each other's numbers or not? I mean, I have your email. I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we definitely got to talk some more. It'd be awesome. And then we'll schedule a time to do that part 2. Keep everybody kind of wondering. Like I said, we didn't even get to talk about your service, why you joined, what like any of that stuff, right? Any of the cool guy stuff. So, but what we talked about tonight, in my opinion, not that what your service did, what doesn't matter, it wasn't awesome, but you know, you really spoke to people tonight on this podcast. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't wait till Tuesday, man. Like I already knew this episode was going to be so great that when I stream later tonight on Twitch, I was wanting to like give them a sneak peek, you know, like pull it up and like let them listen to some of the stuff. I might do it. Who knows? I might do it. I'm crazy. I do whatever I want.
Man, you said a lot, Juan. Man, I mean, I've talked to you obviously before, you know, we got on here tonight, man, and I got some stuff from you just from this little bit. You didn't have to talk about your service or anything, man, but like I gained a little bit more just listening to you, and you're just a wealth of knowledge and just a real positive guy, man, and it's very cool just to sit back and listen. You know,
Thank you.
If I can't say anything else, get the words out or you know articulate it, man. It's really really cool, man. Getting to sit here and listen to you, man.
Hey man, it's my pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me on. I feel privileged. I love doing these. I haven't done one in a while, and I just want to make it happen. So thank you for working around my schedule and the baby and all that. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, man. Yeah. Like we're super flexible. So yeah, we'll schedule up another one. This will drop on Tuesday. And so everybody on Tuesday, what's up? Thanks for being here, watching it, checking it out. And we love you guys. This is why we do this. We do it for all y'all out there. We appreciate all the love and support. And we appreciate just being able to share incredible stories and knowledge from guys like Juan. And yeah, it's just been an incredible journey. So until next time, we love you guys. Appreciate the love and support. Semper Fi.
Semper Fi.